Good morning and welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this morning's update to start the trading week, I want to go over a few topics that I think are going to be worthy of discussion. First, as we can see, XRP failed to hold 60 cents. It's right now down 1.1% on the day, down to 59.3 cents. Everything we attempted to do on the push up, it did not become unraveled yet. We haven't been putting in, we didn't put in. The biggest thing here is we haven't given back the 2018 resistance as support. And that's what we're going to have to really target here. Because now that we've come down into this area, we're going to start running out of space if we pull down any farther. It's brutal that we could not hold that 601. Once we didn't hold 601, that's what allowed us to start dropping. It doesn't look like we're done yet. Looks like we're probably not done yet. I wish it wouldn't have fell down like this, because now we're going to get a lot of bearish bias. We're going to get a lot of people that give up, and we're going to get a lot of people that come in here and say, see, XRP couldn't even break 61 cents, couldn't even get to 64. You're right. Got invalidated. At least the current thesis, when we got up to 63.1. It was very close. I kept calling for 64 cents on the way up. It got up to 63.1, and now it's reversed back down. And it's something that is unavoidable. We've come back down. If we start looking at this, if we are looking maybe what we're trying to form here, we've got that uptrend right there. And this is just speculating to see if maybe we can run into a pattern here. And then we've got resistance over the top. So it looks like we've got something like this expanding out. And then if we fall through this bottom level, it's going to be a big issue. If we lose 59 cents, it's probably going to lead us back down to 55.8. And that's the retest of the 2018 resistance as a support again. So if we were to break down here, let's just go from here to there, because we hit both sides of this, so we know that that could be a technical play if we were to break down. I mean, that would be an overzealous move there. See if we do it from this side. Yeah, let's do it from the smaller side, just because we know we've had a resistance support from there. Yeah, that hits it perfect. So if we were to break down, it's telling us if we lose 59 cents, we've got a technical drop to 55.8 cents. And I asked the question yesterday, is the likely scenario up to 70? And when we discussed it, we were unable to break that area, and we broke to the downside. And now instead of going up towards 66.7, it looks like we're more in line right now to go down to 55.8. So we have a death cross here in the 30-minute. Nothing happened overnight to change this thesis. In fact, what we've seen overnight probably made this worse. So it's going to be very interesting on the way down. I'm going to actively try to find us a new copy trading platform, as a lot of you noticed. The fees, and then just the fact that the usability wasn't on point, and then the every time somebody additionally copy traded, it put us at a bigger deficit. So having 23 people, we would start out 10x trades minus about 6.5–7%, which was not a good thing. And I decided to stop it, even though we were up a couple 100% still. It just, the way it was working, I got a lot of emails that if I were to add to a position, so let's say I bought $100 at 59 cents on XRP. If it goes down to 58.7 and I wanted to buy $15 more because now I wanted to lower my average position but continue in the position, what would happen is the ones who are copying me, it would add to their position, but it would sell off that amount that they were adding so that the trade would stay the same amount. So if you put in $100 and went down 10%, and I bought 10% more, and now we have $110, it would sell off 10% of yours to gain the additional 10%. So you'd take a 10% loss on that sale. So I didn't know that until yesterday, and that's, or 2 days ago, I mean. So that was a big no-no to me. And then just some of the experience I've had, it's not worth it. So I'll try to find another platform for us to copy trade. I was having a lot of fun. $100 challenge, we were getting near $300 again. So it was a pretty interesting thing, but we're gonna have to find something that's more transparent and an exchange, at least from the copy trading perspective, that we can stay on the same page. So no reason for some of you to lose money just by hitting a trade, even if it's a successful one. So it's not worth it to me. I can leverage trade on my own if I want, but right now I have nothing available for leverage in crypto. I flipped it over to Cash App all my profits because this doesn't look like a good moment. So I'll be interested in crypto again once this fulfills. And we'll watch this downward spiral that's probably going to happen here. And I am still on XRP spot. I'm talking about I have no interest in leverage trading at this moment until the market reshuffles. And hopefully by then, by the time this happens, I'll be able to have an active copy trade community. But this looks brutal this morning. I'm just saying, this looks brutal. So anybody who's backed in a big rally this morning, I don't know, this looks pretty bad to me. This looks pretty bad. So make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this update. Some days we're bearish, some days we're bullish. Today it looks pretty ominous here to start. And we're going to go over a very in-depth technical analysis. And we're going to be able to find a proper level on where we sit. We've got analysts saying XRP form and moon pattern, but we'll save that for tonight's live to read that. But what I wanted to read was XRP is getting its own documentary. And we're going to hear more about this, you know, in the days to come, but this should be coming out in November, and it's going to be a spicy meatball. So we'll read through this. We'll take a look at the crypto fear and greed index, and then we'll look, as I showed you, at likely outcome if we were to break down this structure. As I think right now we're in a very bearish moment, and if we do break down this 59 cents, the problem is we have a technical target back down to the 2018 support line that used to be resistance. And if we give away 59 cents, we have a technical drop to 55.8 cents. Make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this update. I'll be recommendable, and then if you look on YouTube, my content will be there on the homepage, and then you can make an educated and informed decision whether or not you want to watch my content. So make sure to hit that like button. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. And look in the video description below and our pinned comments. Join BITUNIX if you're going to leverage trade. You've all seen the difference between exchanges. BITUNIX literally has the cheapest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA, so take advantage of it. HOTCOIN was fun, but if you're leverage trading, take your money out of there and put it on BITUNIX. If you're spot trading, love HOTCOIN, but the fees are so extraordinary, especially in high times of volatility, that it makes you think twice. So make sure to hit that like button. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Good morning, 8:37 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, August 26th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, we've started ourselves in the proverbial shithole here to start the week. If XRP keeps breaking down here, which it looks like it's starting to, hopefully this... If you don't want this to go down, hopefully this was just a hot start to the morning. A little bit of overzealous sell-off here. With the threat of expanding war, you know, it seems to be hindering what's going on in the markets here. Because we're set up a 5.91% drop if we validate this drop out of 59 cents. So we're in desperation mode this morning. We've come down much too far here. And we found ourselves in desperation mode. We're under 59 cents. With the possibility of a threat to 55 cents looms. So this isn't me saying I'm predicting something. I don't come on here and say, hey, we're going up here, this is guaranteed. I come on here and show you the most likely outcome that's showing up in the chart today, and then we look at an expanded view. By no means what happened this weekend was a good thing. We fell out of every local support we had. 59.5 was the final straw. Once we broke out of that, it's going to be volatile now. And unfortunately, I mean, the drop that I showed you, it might not even be as bad as it's going to get. I mean, we could exacerbate this. We could start looking at these formations that fell out and see if we can come to a logical conclusion. 56.06. So that's showing 56.06. Our other chart is showing us 55.8. So I would say 56 cents is a pretty likely bet here if we continue to move down. We're seeing confluency around 55 and or 56 cent area, 55.8 to 56, and that's if this were to continue to drop down. And the way to invalidate this drop is we're going to have to get back over, what was that level? 59. Let's do this at the exact spot. Oh, this is important now, because now this is a back test for a further dump. 59.24 cents. So if we're not over 59.24 cents, and we see XRP continue down the road of less fortunate, if we get rejected at 59.2, XRP signaling a drop of over 5% to that 56, what was that, 55.8 to 56 cent level. So that's what we're looking at this morning. Bitcoin's down 0.92% or 591 points to 629. Down, but we're invalidating these bullish thesis here. A lot of this stuff is flipping to a death cross. And right now, Bitcoin, if it comes below 63,225, invalidates the current structure. But it looks like we're tugging down to 62,737. If I'm being honest, that's where it looks like we're trying to come down to in the short term. And if that busts, those are your numbers underneath. Because if we invalidate this to the downside, it's going to end up turning into a reversal pattern to the downside. Like, we had some momentum last week, but the way we ended the weekend here, it's interesting. It's interesting. We failed to garner any further moves up. We failed to garner any popularity. And then with some of the news that's been coming out, once the Telegram founder was arrested and things like that, we ended up the market. We had the news of the expanding exchange of rocket fire and gunfire, with many countries now becoming involved in this expanding war. So it's interesting because we have not created the expandable lower low. And what I mean by that is we have been coming down, but if we look at this from a perspective of like the weekly, we're not creating new lows yet. Even with this weekly pulling all the way back, how we were all the way up at, we never created a new low on this week. We created a lower high, but a higher low. So it's like we're converging. When you create higher highs and lower low, or higher lows, or higher lows and lower highs, the pattern hasn't technically flipped yet. Technically we're consolidating, but unless we put in a lower low, which in this case, if you look at the weekly, to put in a lower low here, we'd have to come below 57.1. If we come below 57.1, it's a reversal, and we're probably going down to 38. That's how tense this is right now. If this weekly reverses down here at any time this week and we end up below 57.1, there's a very real chance we could take out this low at 55.7. And that's the prior weekly low. So we have to come below 55.8. And honestly, isn't it kind of funny that the technical drop, if we do continue dropping, which kind of seems like it could, the technical target is down at 56 or 55.8 cents, right where that level's at. I mean, they do say when you find some consistency, you run with it. So we'll see if that's exactly what plays out. If we're coming down on the weekly time frame to retest that 55.8 cent area. That's what it seems like to me. Looks like it's going to be a treacherous start to the week. If we look at the US dollar, it's at 100.839. So it's flat. It's under 101. Do we expect that to continue climbing? Probably not. The Dow's not up 417. That's how it closed last week. I haven't seen the futures, but look at the DXY. It looks awful. DXY looks awful to start the week. We could break below that 98.2 cent structural support on this rising channel. Do you guys realize the moment that this breaks out of the rising channel, the repercussions here? Do you guys know the repercussions here in the US dollar? If we break this, I'm just being serious with everybody. Do we understand the repercussions that we are very, very close to now? And if this happens, say goodbye to the US dollar and say hello to your gold and silver, please. 79.745. This is the exact area we circled on the next drop out of the rising channel. And then ultimately, it'll probably come all the way down. All the way down. So I'm going to get rid of some of the noise here on the DXY. So next time we look at it, it's much easier to look at. Because we already came and exhausted the targets that we could have. Now we're in some trouble. Now we're in some trouble. If the US dollar comes below 98.5, it could have a technical drop down under 80. Under 80. Do you know what that means for the US dollar globally and in the US? You think it's expensive now to buy your local favorites from the grocery store? If we drop down to 78, oh my God. or 79, it's over. It's over. I expect gold, silver to have a decent day today. You never can quite tell on a Monday morning, but gold's up 13.50 already, so it started out hot. Silver's up 0.67%, so it's over 30 bucks starting off hot. Elon Musk talked about silver yesterday, so does that mean we're going to have an explosive week because he said it was undervalued? B2 gold right now, out of the gate, we won't know, but it's up 1 cent to $2.88. But I suspect if gold continues to move, we're going to have a nice day in commodities, but we'll see how it plays out. And then as we can see, we have these treacherous targets on XRP if we do continue this move down. If we can't break back above 59.25 cents and we break, we're already below, we have a technical target right now, 55.8 cents roughly. So that's the technical analysis this morning. I hope you that helped out. And look in the video description below and our pinned comments if you want to trade on BITUNIX, lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. Worldwide, you can trade as well. I don't know about the fees worldwide because I only live in the USA. You don't need a VPN or KYC. On HOTCOIN, you can trade the XRP Bitcoin pairing through spot. I encourage you to trade on spot on HOTCOIN. If you do it on leverage, just be careful. They do have expandable pairs that you don't find some of them on BITUNIX. But definitely I put my faith in BITUNIX when it's my own personal money outside of the copy trading and spot trading, because the fees are much lower and I can actually spot or leverage trade without getting hammered with the fees. So take advantage of the links, or if you want to send a donation or send a YouTube super chat, we're coming to the end of the month, I'd greatly appreciate that. And then you can Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal right on YouTube. You go click on the link on my homepage and you can find it there. And everything else is in the video description below and our pinned comments. So XRP getting its own documentary. What the hell is this all about? So a new trailer is expected to be unveiled in about a week or two before the official launch. The project is expected to stir the pot after some serious research. Fruition Production, a Los Angeles-based film and gaming studio, has announced that the release of an XRP documentary is scheduled to take place this November. So the company has taken matters into its own hand, pursuing self-distribution. The documentary will be initially available on such major platforms as Amazon and Apple TV. Oh, a nice way to get you to make a subscription. The documentary will be available in many places so that audience can view it in the locations they think make sense. Fruition Production said in a social media post, the firm said that there is more demand for content that doesn't come from established providers. As for Netflix, Fruition Production has clarified that collaborating with the streaming giant would require many middlemen who would end up harming the project on its way to completion. The documentary will not feature Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and his executive team, since they refuse to take part in the project. According to Fruition Production, however, the team behind the documentary did interview Ripple CTO David Schwartz. When you see the scope of what we're covering, I actually don't blame them at all. Resistance in the form of requiring lots of story compromises and then arbitrary celebrities, the firm said. So there's going to be a movie about XRP. I seen a little buzz. I don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but there's supposed to be some very interesting details that are going to be released within that. And the CTO, David Schwartz, is involved with it. Brad Garlinghouse, Christian A. Larson's in the bunch. I don't believe they are, but we do know David Schwartz is a part of it. So that's actually a legitimate thing. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index, before I leave, yesterday was at Greed 56. Right now is at Greed 55. So when it's in greed, remember what we said, fear buy, greed sell. If you just follow that logic, if you're a swing trader, it seems to work out rather well. I prefer us not to break down, because when we break down, then the audience gets a little bizarre. You know, some people decide to tune away. Some people decide to just come in and criticize. Others, though, come in because they find a moment of opportunity. So you really can never tell what the audience base is going to do. But right now, you know, it's a very, very, very interesting moment here, as we know. Very interesting moment. What did I delete? I was moving something back up here. No, B2 Gold, Bitcoin, Shiba, USD. Oh, DXY. I was going to say something was removed and I had to pull it back up. So the US dollar currency index right now, as we said, it's hindering right now. We're hindering in a lot of spots in the markets, but we'll keep updated. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the over 23,100 subscribers if you appreciate my work. I'm going to get ready to go up to the gym. We got physical therapy for my son later. We'll have a live tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll do a short here in just a couple hours. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that like button. And until we meet again, keep your emotions in check.